One of the biggest issues that modern guitar players face is that their time fucking sucks and they're too dumb and lazy to do something about it. Today we're gonna remedy that. Let's go. So the first thing you want to do is get some sort of metronome app. This is Pro Metronome, it's free. And I'm gonna use the tap tempo to tap 2 and 4. And I'm gonna pretend it's the snare drum and play it with my left hand. 1, tap, 2, tap, 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 and then play. That's 55 BPM, right? That groove, boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna sing the bass drum part, right? Do, 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 do. Try to lock in with that kind of feeling. Now there are other feelings, other grooves I can play with that kind of backbeat, but we're gonna start by imagining that 16th note funk groove. Now every tempo is a different physical technique. Think about it as a variety of ways of moving your body in time. The challenge is to lock in with 55 exactly. So feel that 16th. In the beginning, you can just mark it with your left hand like this. Do, 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 do. Shika, chika, do, 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 do. Even count 1 hand, a 2 hand, a 3 hand, a 4 hand, a 5 hand. And then just switch that to just singing of the rhythms. You can make up parts. You can go I can even play chords, right? Like a funk. Trying to lock in with that feeling. Now there are other pockets in there that I can explore. Another one would be that 8th note pocket, as opposed to subdividing into like, I'm trying to lean into the more Jeff Beck, AC/DC kind of thing, where it's just 8th notes instead of 16ths, meaning like, what's called a pump would be like leaning on those offbeats. Like if I'm going, boom, 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 right? That kind of feeling. The next thing would be like a shuffle. So if I'm playing a shuffle, I'm trying to feel those triplets. If I'm thinking about like shit, she my pride and joy, she my sweet little baby. So those triplets have a different feeling to them. You can start with just playing a bass line that goes with that, like. Lock it in. I'm trying to treat that 2 and 4 like it's a real instrument. I'm playing off it. I'm really reacting to it. I'm listening to it in a way that it's almost a part of me, and I'm not trying to bury it with my own note. It's not like... I'm not trying to give you a strong 2 and 4 to land exactly where that's landing. I'm just trying to integrate my part and blend to where I'm creating this multi-layered thing where me and the metronome part are one. Now that 16th note is the thing we first talked about. That would be the next layer in rhythm. But if we jump past that, we have the sextuplets. Now sextuplets really translate into swanky 16s. So if I have this straight 16, that's the feel I'm going for. So to make it bounce, that guy. That's what you want to feel. Now, when you're practicing this stuff, you want to practice a tempo for a long time straight. But tomorrow, you don't want to repeat that tempo. You want to practice a different tempo that's 1 or 2 clicks away. There's a story that Paul Wardico, the drummer for the Pat Metheny group, told me about a very famous big band drummer that always insisted on counting off the tunes because he told the band that if he doesn't count it off, we're going to just end up in one of my tempos. And he was self-aware enough to understand that he didn't have metronomic control. He just had an up, a medium, and a ballad. And a lot of you guys that are playing funk, without knowing it, you're pulling and you're pushing the tempo to the place where your physicality feels good. You're pushing the drummer, you're pushing the bassist to just be where you're used to being. Metronomes can act like devices that get you used to different physicalities. It's different using this 55 BPM swing than 58 BPM. It's very different. For the body. The body has to learn the tempo. And you want to spend a lot of time in one tempo, but what you don't want to do is try to be exhaustive in your practice in the scope of one day with tempos. It's not like you want to sit there and do 51 BPM, 52 BPM, 53 BPM, 54, back to back to back. You want to spend the day, let's say at 55 BPM like we were doing, and really get used to how it feels. And then tomorrow when you practice, just dial in something that is similar but different, right? 53 BPM, 56 BPM. You don't want to be like one of those imbeciles that practices in all 12 keys in one sitting and at the end of the practice session barely made any music in any of those keys. You want to just pick a different key every day and then work through the tunes you know or the harmonic progressions. It's great to practice in D flat for a day. It's not so great to practice in D flat for 10 minutes and then switch it up and switch it up and switch it up. You end up just not doing much in any key. Same goes for tempo. You want to be exhaustive over time, not in one sitting. So we checked out medium funk, right? 55, that's sort of James Brownish. Now let's feel a really slow tempo. I'm gonna imagine like a doom doom ka, doom 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 ka, doom 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 ka, doom 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 ka, doom doom doom, 32 BPM. Now I'm gonna feel that like I'm playing that snare, and I'm gonna imagine that that snare has a lot of reverb on it to where I'm bouncing off it. Boom, boom. I'm gonna try to sting the bass drum part. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. And lock it in with that feeling of the off, of the 2 and 4. Doom, 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 doom. I'm trying to match what I'm playing with how I'm singing it. Doom, 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 doom. That's harder than it looks. that tempo, I'm going to try to imagine a shuffle. But been dazed and confused for so long, and I do do. That kind of tempo. Now let's imagine 16s. Well, she's flying through the down. Like a slow Stevie kind of thing. Right? Those grooves. I'm really using that offbeat as an instrument, or not offbeat, the 2 and 4. I'm bouncing off it. Another groove in here is the sextuplet groove. If I'm thinking about this kind of like Purdy shuffle world, where it's like when it's really sextuplet, it's almost like an Allman Brothers feel, or like an African, like where I'm thinking like, but I can turn it into a swanky thing where I'm just taking those 16ths and treating them as syncopated sextuplets, like more like a reggae groove. Now you're gonna notice when you're doing it well, because the sextuplets are gonna feel like they're powerful. This tempo, I also have the 32nd note pocket, which is that. right? So that's a way to have a thorough practice where I'm exploring all the different feels with that same backbeat hitting and really respecting it like an instrument. That's really the point. So let's check out one more tempo, the up-tempo stuff like Skunk Funk or Brecker Brothers or like the Corey Wong kind of shit where it's like boom, two, ka, doom, ka, 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 doom, ka, ka. That's 69 BPM on the 2 and 4. Do 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 boom do 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 do. Think of melody like So a lot of the stuff I'm doing in that tempo included some six. That was now you can go back to that slower pocket, the AC/DC thing here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sing the bass part. Do 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 da do 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 Now the triplets. That kind of feeling. The 16ths are what we did first, right? Those Breckery things. Right? Now the last thing you might want to include is some sextuplets at that tempo. So you can think about those as just things that are good for fills or a little bit of spice. Think about that speed of or just swung sixteenths here instead of like If you dig this stuff, we made a whole big series with all sorts of tempos. It's really thorough. It's on our Patreon. Click the link below to become a member. Also, you can just leave a comment and you might win a free month on the Patreon, which is the best Patreon since the history of the planet and all planets and all Patreons. Also, just leave a comment anyway, subscribe, hit all the things, join our street team for Marbin, check out the new merch, and we'll see you next time.